they're not cash accessible, but they don't know that they can use their IRA in order to actually continue to buy property or to establish a rental portfolio, that someone else is reimbursing their IRA and building back the retirement monies they've saved for 20 years. And they have a tangible, touchable asset that is appreciating. So it's kind of like double dipping.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Jennifer Vokolek, is an investor and realtor with RE/MAX, active since 2001, and a resident of DFW since '83, and has extensive knowledge and experience along the I-75 corridor. She has a passion for helping clients achieve lifestyle goals, financial, and investment as well. You can find her at realtor4lifedfw.com. That's realtor4 with a 4, lifedfw.com, or on social media, Realtor for Life. Jennifer, thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the invite.
Now, when we talk about DFW real estate in general, we were talking about this for the show. There's so many areas. I mean, you
Yes.
really, when you say DFW Metroplex, it means so many things. You're in the I-75 corridor. For folks who may not be familiar with exactly what that encompasses, break that down for us. What's the I-75 corridor in DFW?
So the I-75 corridor of DFW, runs from downtown Dallas all the way up to the Oklahoma border. So that's going to be, whether you look at it as Dallas, Collin, and then Grayson County, or cities would be Dallas, then people would be familiar with Highland Park, Richardson, Plano, Allen, McKinney, Melissa, Anna, Van Alstyne, Howe, Sherman, and then Denison.
I mean, yeah, we were talking before hopping on here that the area that you're in, Van Alstyne, is an area where there's a lot of development happening, but not so long ago, it felt like, it was really not too much out there, right?
Agreed. So right now, the population of Van Alstyne is sitting somewhere between 8,000 and 9,000 people. And in 4 short years, they expect that number to be over 30,000. So that is
Huge.
Almost 4 times growth in 4 years.
Now, I'm not too familiar with Van Alstyne, so forgive me for the level of ignorance. Right now, is there a center of town, and what's that look like at the moment?
It's a developing area. Right now, it's not center in the sense of having a city hall in the middle and then shops and restaurants built around, versus having 2 or 3 streets that then have different centers. But growth and development is happening rapid fire. There is actually, in the warmer and summer months, they do a farmers market and concert series. There's several new restaurants that have opened, including Burnt by JH, which is locally sourced farm to market fine dining. There is a cocktail lounge that is coming to the area. All of that paired alongside some long-standing traditional Van Alstyne locations like Arroyo's and Romano's Italian, and Bill Smith's, which was actually a place in a cafe in McKinney that then moved this direction. And we're like super grateful for all of those, accentuating parts.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Now, when we talk specifically about folks who are looking at that I-75 corridor,
Mhm.
and anytime that you're looking at the urban sprawl of DFW, it's people wanting to maybe not pay the center of Dallas prices while still having access to Dallas. Is there, would you say, like an avatar of someone who's purchasing along that corridor, going up a little bit further north to where you are? Or is it really just folks who are like strictly budget focused and looking at, hey, I just not wanted to pay this much because I know it's going to be a little bit more cost effective further out?
Uh, the simple answer is yes. The longer answer is, as you said, as you get closer to the downtown Dallas entity, the dirt value is more expensive. So therefore, the houses are more expensive. A lot of those people are not only looking at accessibility to downtown Dallas, but also lifestyle. They're also oftentimes at a tax bracket that allows them to put their kids into private schools or the charter schools. Highland Park ISD is a renowned top tier #1 school district along the I-75 corridor, very close to SMU, but a very small footprint compared to other people and spaces. And those homes are typically well in the millions. So it's a small buyer pool.
Now,
As you move farther up into, Richardson, Plano, that still readily provides access for people into downtown Dallas via the DART. So they're able to get a less expensive home, still have fantastic schools, family atmosphere, but take mass transport and take the DART rail downtown. The DART rail doesn't go farther north, and from that standpoint, a lot of times people then stop looking at downtown Dallas and driving from where I am. It's too far given the normal traffic, like a rush hour traffic. The difference for me, argument's sake, from driving from Van Alstyne to downtown Dallas without traffic is about 45 or 50 minutes. With traffic, will take an hour and a half to 2 hours. And people just don't want to give that much of their day away.
yeah.
That being said, from Plano north up to Sherman, there has been an incredible infiltration of businesses that have reaped the rewards of Texas tax benefits. For example, AT&T is actually moving their corporate headquarters out of downtown Dallas up into the Legacy Center of Plano. And in Sherman, you're going to have the semiconductor that's going to open. So you've got a lot of tech people and a lot of retail people that are now looking at, okay, I want to be up in these areas. Frisco, while not along the I-75 corridor, is often coupled with Allen, McKinney, Melissa, and that's considered to be Sportstown, USA, with Texas Rangers and Stars and what. So it depends on lifestyle. On top of budget for where people are looking as it
Right.
pertains to the Metroplex.
Now, for investors specifically, single family
Yeah.
investors, there's of course opportunity all throughout DFW, all throughout Texas, really. But
Mhm.
when you're talking specifically about that corridor leading up to Oklahoma, it does feel like it's just going to be one straight shot almost, and that there's just going to be, cities, small towns, and larger towns popping up along that route. And so it's providing uh, really an opportunity for investors to develop, for investors to flip homes when possible? I know that that's maybe a little bit trickier now than it was 5 or 6 years ago.
Yes.
In your experience working with single family investors, are they seeing that opportunity as well to develop along that road?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Absolutely. They are not, as you said, as much with flipping. The margins just aren't as great versus purchase and hold. And one of the things, because these northern areas are less expensive, it's allowing even first time buyers to get into the market with specific intent of doing what I call a leapfrog. So they'll buy a first house, owner occupied. They don't require 20% down. They'll be able to do it. In Anna, for example, they qualify for USDA financing, which is 100% financing with a 2% funding fee. So somebody can get into the house with virtually nothing, then move on to another property, again, use owner occupied financing if they qualify for both, and keep the first one and put a tenant in and let somebody else build their wealth.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean,
Mhm.
I would say that strategy, would you uh, I guess not compare, but would you see that there's folks who are doing that who might also be looking at like house hacking with like a duplex, triplex, a quadplex, that type of thing?
Not so much where we are, because you're going to have multifamily units more available downtown where that land is too expensive to do that.
Okay.
A lot of, and particularly when you're talking about first time home buyers that have specific intent of turning that property into an investment. I've very recently had some guys that their friends, they got sick of paying rent, and they decided what they wanted to do was exactly what you're saying: buy a duplex. They were going to live on one side and then, have somebody living on the other. Cut to, they're looking in this Anna, Howe, Van Alstyne, Sherman area, and they're only qualified up to 275,000, which is not a lot.
Yeah. And that can change, which type of deals that you're looking at. One of the things
Well, and
pivoting.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean what we found very quickly, unfortunately, is that when we were looking at properties at they existed for duplexes, but they were in areas and condition that I flat out told the guys, your parents will kill me if I sell this to you. And they wound up buying a single family brand new house for the same price.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna mention. With the price of some of these new builds, it's
Hmm.
remarkable, right? And going back to why some of these other strategies may be trickier. It's, well, you can't flip a home for 250, 260 if there's new homes that are that price, or maybe $15,000 more, because a buyer is gonna come and say, well, if I'm paying that much money, I might as well pay 10 grand more or the same amount for a
Right.
brand new home.
Correct. Correct. And if you're buying a house that when you renovate and are ready to flip, it's between that 250 and 300 mark. Well, the as is value at purchase had to have been under or close to $100,000. And you and I both know that that's a tear down, not a flip.
Hey, I've seen a lot of people try to cowboy it up and try to make those things happen. And that's one of the tricky things about being an investor, right? Is you've got to find these deals that underwrite, and oftentimes too, you have to be able to pivot from one strategy to another. So if fix and flip was your bread and butter, you might be looking now. Although I've heard things are changing, but you might be having to look more at, hey, I'm going to do buy and hold strategy, or hey,
Yes.
I may have to pivot to a different asset class entirely. I know that you have a rental portfolio. Uh,
Yes.
for folks who are looking at establishing a rental portfolio in DFW or even along that I-75 corridor, do you have any general feedback for them as far as best practices so that they set up their business for success, not just this year, next year, but 10 years down the line?
I think a lot of it depends on who the buyer is and what their level of pain willingness is. And I say that, because that's also going to depend upon whether or not I suggest to somebody that they look at an older house, either with minor repairs and updates to be done to tap into maybe a market that is more verified.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Verified is probably a good word versus some of these very small communities that are still establishing. What I have particularly encouraged a lot of buyers as of late, and most of my investor buyers are from the swing ends. Most of the middle age, like 30, 40s, they're too busy, honestly, at soccer club. Whereas your young folks out of college are going, I want to buy a house and I want to like try and move my portfolios forward. They don't have the money for repairs, much less a flip. They don't have
Right.
the credit in order to even get the hard money to do that. So a new construction house allows them to know that they're at least looking at 1 to 10 warranties or 1 to 6, depending upon the builder, without having major repairing concern. On the other side of that are people that are now rapid fire. The unfortunate reality is that we have a huge population in the United States of divorcees, and they are looking at, my husband and I are in the same boat. They are looking at what their retirement plan had been, and it kind of got split up. And now they're trying to rapid fire figure out, how do I still retire at the same time and plan? And they're not cash accessible, but they don't know that they can use their IRA in order to actually continue to buy property or to establish a rental portfolio, that someone else is reimbursing their IRA and building back the retirement monies they've saved for 20 years. And they have a tangible, touchable asset that is appreciating. So it's kind of like double dipping.
Yeah, I mean
And for those,
that's huge. The IRA and using that for real estate is huge. And you pointed out something that I haven't heard other people mention, which is, the rental income reimburses that. So it's not like you're just taking it out and, losing completely. Or in your mind, you might be thinking, well, I don't want to take this out early because I'm going to be, not being able to see the top value of my IRA. Of course, when you go to sell that property, you're going to get those benefits. But then also, too, you're getting the rental income yearly until, you decide to sell the property.
well, it works a little bit. So because the IRA is, you're purchasing the house with the IRA, the tenant is then paying back the IRA.
Right.
And so you can't technically touch the money again until you're 59 and a half. But 59 and a half comes pretty darn quick. And you couldn't touch the money before
Any
59 and a half anyway. So you're not changing your household expenses or budget when you're 40, 45, 50. You're just planning for that expansion of what was there based on both the IRA being rebuilt, because there's no tax penalty for withdrawing that money from your IRA to buy the property owned by the IRA. So there's not a financial disadvantage to it. You don't also have to send a check to Uncle Sam for early withdrawal. That's not how it works.
Now, do
So
you have if you have a traditional IRA, do you have to like redesignate it in some way in order to make that happen?
you transfer it to a trust company that specifically manages self-directed IRAs. And so it's kind of, in many ways, it works like when people do 1031 exchanges where they sell one investment property, then there's a holding company for up to typically 45 days, and then you transfer that money to the purchase of a new investment property. There's no tax disadvantage because you never touched the funds. It's
Right.
the same thing with the self-directed IRA. You never touch the funds. So the tenant doesn't pay you, the tenant pays the IRA.
All
When
right.
when there are repairs to be done, the IRA pays the repairs. When the taxes come due, the IRA pays
The
the
tax.
taxes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a huge advantage. Thank you for breaking that down for us, because myself and I think a lot of people, might not fully understand exactly what goes
Mhm.
into that. I might be thinking, well, there's greater risk, but no, I mean, you're not going to touch the money if it's in the IRA, anyhow. And so in one case, you're putting it in real estate. In another case, it's staying in the IRA. So it's a great fit for a lot of people. We are coming up on time here, though, Jennifer. Any new projects that you're working on? And then also, too, what's the best way for folks to get in contact with you?
Oh, well, probably the best way to get a hold of me is by phone or text, which I check at. I'm attached to my phone, like most realtors are, and so phone call, text, carrier pigeon 214-727-1980 is going to be the fastest, best way to get a hold of me. But probably the biggest number one thing I'm working on right now is I've always been very fortunate to be working in a referral platform, and have my business is about, I would say 95, 97%. I know you because of somebody else, not, from you just found me on the internet. And so right now, the biggest thing I'm working on is all of those people that are coming out of the woodwork. And we've got so many listings coming online right now, all the way up and down the I-75 corridor at varying price points, to really accommodate those people that are new to the Metroplex. And I am just ecstatic to see all the growth and development and to help people get to know the area that I love. So.
Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.